pistachios. I am using one of my favorite tools. I have two favorite tools, by the way, and I don't like anything that has removable parts. I don't like any equipment that plugs in. I like rolling pins, wooden spoons, mortar and pestles, and microplanes. And that's all you need. And a sharp green knife that Chad gave me in honor of our pistachios.
It has to be green.
So into my Aillade, I have some pistachios that are chopped up, some horse sea salt, a little bit of grated lemon zest, which is why I love the microplane. And remember, when you are grating zest, you want to use only the yellow part of the fruit. Never go into the white pith, which causes it to be very bitter.
Did you know that the yellow part of any kind of citrus, 53% of vitamin C
And flavor is in there.
is in there.
And then I'm grating a clove of garlic. But I know, but that's in like any vegetable, right? Like I really am started not peeling as many vegetables as I don't have to. Is that? I mean, that's true in this. That's what my mother always said. Eat your. You know, I used to be embarrassed when I would go to school because my mother was a very early proponent of healthy food. So all my sandwiches were on whole grain breads. My carrots weren't peeled, and she wouldn't wrap anything in plastic because she felt it was environmentally unsound. And so I, at a very early age, was always so humiliated by what I was forced to eat. However, I thank her. Maybe that's why I'm healthy. I'm adding some more. So I'm pounding my sauce, my Aillade.
How do you spell Aillade?
A-I-I-L-A-D-E. It comes from the French word for garlic, which is ail. So it's kind of, as opposed to an Italian pounded sauce like a pesto, it's a French pounded nut sauce. All right, and once I have that pounded, I'm going to stir in a little pistachio oil. And maybe Judy can tell us a little bit about pistachio oil. I love it. It obviously comes from pistachios. And I felt since pistachios are a star, my oil must come from that too. So Judy, anything to add about pistachio oil that you can think of besides that it comes from pistachios and it's green?
What's nice about pistachio oil is what you just said. It adds a pop of green, and I know that all of the chefs that have been enjoying working with pistachios, which by the way, pistachios have been identified as the new hit ingredient in the United States. So the chefs that we work with appreciate the pop of green that they provide. As a little tip for green, anything that's red looks really good with pistachios. They're opposite each other on the color wheel. So one of the simplest things you can do is take, when heirloom tomatoes come into season, you know, they get that really beautiful dark red color. Just slice them nice and thick, put some coarse ground salt and pepper on them, pistachio oil, and coarsely chopped pistachios on
I'm the
top.
cook, by the way.
Oh, and if Nancy likes that idea, you might consider doing it at home.
Okay, so I've got my pounded sauce. I'm using avocado, nice ripe avocado, because I think again that color of the green is so beautifully brought up with the avocado. I'm just cutting it in half. And I like to just give a slice to the skin, and when it's ripe, it peels beautifully. Tip number 2, let's see, you learned that there's no secrets in great tasting food except for great ingredients. Tip number 2 is, how do you keep an avocado from turning color? No.
Onion.
What? No.
You keep the seed with the avocado.
Where do pistachios grow on?
Trees.
Okay. the cold. Refrigerate them. So a little citrus doesn't hurt. I don't know if the pit is a wives' tale or not, but absolutely keep your avocado. Is it a pit?
I worked with Mexican avocados for 4 years. It's a wives' tale. Keep them in the fridge, and then putting the plastic on it and working out every little speck of air.
No, but refrigeration. Cold keeps avocados green. All right. So I've got my avocados. I'm using Picholine olives. They're a French olive. They're pitted. Or actually,
Is that the little green olive we had in our dinner, or in the, was it on the pizza, or is that?
Oh, this is
Chad?
Is it a
Oh,
green
yes.
olive?
No. You had a Castle Forgiato. That is a fresh green olive.
Oh,
That's not brine. This is a brined olive.
I see.
And lastly, my grapefruit, which I'm cutting into segments. We call them supreme. So basically, all you do is cut off the ends. An Oro Blanco. Has everyone ever had an Oro? I mean, has everyone had an Oro Blanco before? So an Oro Blanco is obviously a white-fleshed grapefruit, but it's very, very sweet. And they're in season still for probably another few weeks is all. But much sweeter than any other white kind. So you cut off the ends, and with your knife, you just want to find where the flesh starts, and just cut around it, like that. And then once it's fully peeled,
Is that a domestic grapefruit?
yeah. And you then want to cut between the membranes, because the membrane is the bitter part of any fruit. So if you're ever going to use citrus in a salad, whether it's tangerines or oranges, grapefruit, this is how you always want to prepare them. And in culinary terms, it's called the supremes. And now I'm ready to toss my salad. The greens that I'm using are, and the onion. I'm sorry, there's onion in my salad too, and that's another trick number 3. Firstly, my onions are peeled, they're red onions. They're sliced very, very thinly on a mandolin. And how do you make onions taste good? You soak them in ice water. So once a knife touches an onion, you're opening up everything that's awful about a raw onion. How do you get rid of that awful flavor? You soak it in ice water, and then it becomes palatable. And you know, when you start to soak your onion in ice water and you get used to the flavor of raw onion being treated that way, again, you'll never take that step out of your cooking. Okay, lastly, my greens. I have wild rucola and I have wild cress. A salad such as this, I think, deserves the respect of shopping in the farmer's market and picking out just really beautiful, interesting greens.
Is there a difference between cress and watercress?
It's a variety of watercress. The one I have is much less stemmy. I know like in the supermarket you can get living cress, but I find that to be pretty, the flavor profile is so mild. I like a little bit more aggressive, especially for this salad. Now we're on to the 4th thing you learned today, and the 4th thing you're going to learn today is that, and you'll watch me make my both salads, and any good restaurant that you go to, every single layer of your ingredient is seasoned. So I'm salting my greens, adding a little lemon vinaigrette, and this is a very simple vinaigrette. Again, you have the recipe in your book. It's shallots.
A lot of shallots.
Yeah, shallots. That's why I started with that one. Shallots and champagne vinegar, lemon juice, salt, pepper, and extra virgin olive oil. Okay, a salad such as this, which is very delicate, you need to be very delicate. Advice to you, throw away the tongs that you got as a wedding present, right? Bridal shower, whenever you got them. And just keep around God's given tongs because it's the only way to really properly dress a salad and also to gauge how much dressing you want to put on. Because the worst thing about a overdressed salad is a underdressed salad. So perfectly dressed salad is very important.
Well then how do you know?
How do you know if you have a fever?
You're the cook,
How
not
do
me.
you know if how do you know if a child has a fever?
Oh.
You just know.
Okay.
How do you know if your bath water is too hot? How do you know if the salad is overdressed? Overdressed, first of all, the greens would begin to wilt, right? Because they would be drowned in the dressing.
Okay.
Underdressed, they would not have any glisten to them, right?
Okay, they should
And
be
then
really coated.
taste it. All right. So,
Do you always use Italian olive oil?
you know, we're an Italian restaurant, we do, but we do use a little California, but pretty much Italian, just because we're an Italian restaurant, it feels good to do that. However, that said, you can really use whatever you want. Okay, I'm going to build my salad, and so many of the salads that we do, both at Pista, at the pizzeria, and at the Osteria, are ones that we build, and I love building them because then I can ensure that what you're eating has exactly the right components, right? Otherwise, all that stuff just falls to the bottom. A chopped salad is different. But that said, what I really like about doing this salad and what I'm doing today is that when a salad is built, sometimes it's fun to find a surprise at the bottom. Because when you get to the bottom, maybe there's not a whole lot left of ingredients. So this is my surprise. All right, Tiffany, she makes the salad every night, so tell me if I'm doing it right. Avocado first. I have my Aillade. Okay, little avocado. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Onion.
Or a long go.
Oh, see. Blanco. And that's my grapefruit. Okay, onion. Tiffany.
Yeah.
Picheline olives.
Pistachios.
Oh, pistachios, of course.
Were the pistachios
For crunch.
salted?
And the pistachios are lightly toasted. They're the same ones as you're eating out of the shell, so they're lightly toasted. And because you learned about seasoning every ingredient as you go, a little oil and salt. Are you moving my picture around?
I'm adapting.
My greens. Tiffany, I need more greens, please. A little more avocado.
Nancy, you created this part of your three restaurants as an education space originally, is that
You know,
right?
when we were first built this space, we built it with the intention of having a takeout, knowing that because we had so much demand for our pizzas to take out, we just couldn't do it during prime. Did you dress it? No. During prime time, and so we wanted to build a to-go. But we knew the space was way too big, we didn't need it. And so we thought about the retail store because I didn't want people to just pick up their pizzas in a stainless steel kitchen. And then there was all this space left over. And so with it, we decided to build a cooking school where Chad would teach. Chad is right over there looking bored because I'm stealing the show. It's going to be your turn in a few minutes, Chad.